They conquered China. They conquered Persia. They crushed Russia and rode to the gates of Europe. Nothing on land could stop them. So they turned to the sea and sent the largest invasion fleet the world had ever seen against one small island nation. Then, in a single night, the ocean swallowed almost all of them. This is the story of the 2 times the Mongols tried to take Japan, and the storm the Japanese would call the Divine Wind. Picture this. You are a soldier in the army of Kublai Khan, grandson of Genghis. The year is 1274. You have never lost. Your empire is the largest the world has ever known, stretching from the rice fields of China to the forests of Russia. And your Khan has set his eyes on a new prize, a chain of islands to the east, a place your people barely understand, a place called Japan. But here's what nobody in your army knows yet. This tiny island is about to do something no empire, no army, no force on Earth has managed. It's going to stop you. Twice. If you've ever played Ghost of Tsushima, you've walked the beaches where this really happened. But the true story is stranger and far more brutal than any game. It begins with a letter. Kublai Khan sends envoys to Japan demanding submission. Pay tribute, bow to the empire, or be destroyed. It's the same offer the Mongols gave everyone. Most chose to bow. Japan does something almost no one dares. It says nothing. The shogunate simply ignores the most powerful man on Earth. So in November 1274, Kublai answers with force. Roughly 900 ships and 23,000 to 30,000 soldiers pour across the sea from Korea. You land first on the small islands of Tsushima and Iki. The defenders are hopelessly outnumbered. On Tsushima, a local lord named So Sukekuni rides out to meet you with only a handful of samurai. He doesn't stand a chance, and he knows it. He fights anyway. The islands fall. The villages burn. And now your fleet turns toward the main prize, Hakata Bay. This is where the Mongols expect another easy victory. This is where they're wrong. The samurai who meet you on the beach fight unlike anyone you've faced. But your army has something they've never seen. Mass formations, poisoned arrows, and exploding bombs hurled from catapults. The Japanese reel back. By nightfall, you have the upper hand. Victory feels close. Your commanders pull the troops back to the ships to rest before finishing it tomorrow. But there will be no tomorrow on that beach. That night, the sky breaks open. A storm rolls in from the sea, sudden, violent, merciless. The wind tears your fleet apart. Ships smash into each other. Hundreds of vessels splinter against the rocks. Men who survived every battle on land now drown in the dark, weighed down by their own armor. When the sun rises, the bay is full of wreckage. The invasion is over before it can truly begin. The survivors limp back to Korea. The Japanese stare out at the ruined fleet and ask a question that will echo for centuries. Who sent this storm? To them, the answer is obvious. The gods did. This was no ordinary weather. This was kamikaze, the divine wind. But Kublai Khan does not believe in Japanese gods, and he is not a man who accepts defeat. He will be back, and next time, he will bring a force so large it should be impossible to stop. 7 years pass, and during those 7 years, Japan does something remarkable. They don't celebrate, they prepare. Along Hakata Bay, the samurai build a wall, a stone barrier kilometers long, designed for one purpose: to stop the Mongols from ever landing again. You can still trace parts of it today. In 1281, Kublai launches the largest seaborne invasion in human history up to that point. 2 enormous fleets, one from Korea, one from southern China. Together, the sources claim a staggering 4,400 ships and over 140,000 men. Let that number sink in. This is a force the medieval world had never witnessed. Nothing on this scale would be attempted again for centuries. So how do a few thousand samurai behind a stone wall stand against 140,000? The answer is, they almost don't. You arrive at Hakata Bay, and this time, the wall stops you. You can't break through. The samurai raid your ships at night in small boats, slipping aboard, killing in the dark, vanishing before dawn. For weeks, your massive fleet is stuck, anchored together off the coast, unable to land in force. Your soldiers are crammed onto ships in the summer heat. Disease spreads, supplies run low. The mightiest army on Earth is stalled by a wall and a sea of stubborn defenders. And then, in August 1281, the sky darkens again. You have heard the stories from 1274. The old soldiers warn you. And now you watch the horizon turn black, and you feel the first wind, and you understand with horror exactly what is coming. A typhoon, far worse than the first, slams into the fleet. The ships are lashed together for defense, and now that becomes a death trap. They crush each other, they capsize, they sink by the hundreds. The history of Yuan, the official Chinese record, admits the scale of the disaster. Some accounts say the Mongols lost up to 75% of their entire force in the storm and its aftermath. Tens of thousands of men vanished beneath the waves in a matter of hours. The largest invasion fleet ever assembled is, quite literally, swallowed by the sea. The few who survive are stranded on the beaches, hunted down by the samurai. Almost none make it home. Now here's the part most people get wrong. Was it really the gods? Historians point to something less magical, but just as deadly. The Mongols were brilliant on land, but they weren't sailors. Many of their ships were riverboats, built fast and cheap by a conquered Korea, not designed for open ocean typhoons. Anchored together in a shallow bay during typhoon season, they were sitting targets for the storm. In other words, the divine wind was real. But it was the Japanese geography, the timing, and Mongol overreach that turned a storm into a catastrophe. Still, twice the Mongols came. Twice the sea rose up at the exact moment Japan needed it most. You can call it weather. You can call it luck. The Japanese called it the divine wind. And the word kamikaze would echo through history for 700 years. The empire that conquered the world had finally found its limit. Not a wall, not an army, but the sea itself. They conquered China. They conquered Persia. They crushed Russia. But against one small island and one dark storm, even the Mongols could only watch their army disappear beneath the waves. If you want to see how the Mongols were stopped on land instead of at sea, watch how Vietnam and India turned them back. Links are on screen now.